are the Himalayan rivers make only two deltas. One is Sundarban Delta and one is the Indus Delta near Karachi. So many rivers, such a large catchment, which obtain water almost from 8 lakh square kilometer area. And all these rivers are thousands of kilometers long distance. All rivers, 1000 plus kilometer is the distance. These rivers are always, a few rivers are longer than 1000 kilometer. All peninsular rivers are less than 1000 kilometer long. All Himalayan rivers are, whether it is Brahmaputra or it is Indus or it is Ganga, they are thousands of kilometers long. So this is and they have only two delta. Himalayan rivers. Peninsular rivers have individual delta. Every river makes their own delta. And Himalayan rivers make only delta. But the peninsular rivers make delta plus estuary. You know estuary?
Yes.
Estuary means like rivers on the western side of this is Narmada river and this is Tapti. All the rivers, this is Mandovi river, Juari river, and this is you can say small river, Kali Nadi river, Saravthi river, Periyar river. All small rivers, they make estuary here. Small river. All these small rivers, they enter. Estuary means this is the cliff, and through the cliff this is the sea level. They enter to the sea through the cliff. But in delta, all it is plain. River enter to the sea through the plain area. When both the sides of the river are enclosed by the cliffs, escarpment or a kind of gorge appearance is there, when river enter to the sea, that is called delta, estuary. Because in estuary, river brings huge amount of silt in the form of suspended material on its mouth. The mouth, when river enter to the sea, that is called mouth of the river. All the rivers used to deposit all the silt on its mouth. But in estuary, you may not find any silt deposits. Because when the silt is brought to the mouth of the river, it is sifted away by the sea waves. So nothing is visible. Deposited metal is not visible on the mouth of the estuary. Everything is removed by the sea waves. That is. But on the delta, deposits are visible in the form of finest clay. So like sometimes when high tide comes, what happened? When high tide comes, this level increased like this. Sea level also increased. Means sea water sometimes enter to the river. It happens in the estuaries. And this zone is the zone of mangrove vegetation. Mangrove is the one vegetation which survive in the half of the 6 hour that sustain saline water and half 6 hour fresh water, then saline water and fresh water alternate. When there is the low tide, only fresh water is there. When high tide is there, saline water. So in the coastal region, when halophytic vegetation, that is called, so that vegetation is this is the zone. So sometimes sea water enter to the river, in the mouth of the river, and that enters up to the deep. Once I was traveling with the students of Shivaji College from Anand. We went to study the dairy Amul Dairy Research Institute at Anand, and from Anand we were going to Goa. Through that there was a train and we were going like Anand is here, Anand to Goa, there is a train here. So we were coming here. So there is a city called Bhadoch, and Bhadoch is the city where river Narmada drains into make the estuary and drains into the Gulf of Cambay. And it was almost evening, I don't know what was the time, but The railway station is on the mid of the bridge or the mid of the river, because Bharuch city has no space. Only bridge is there, and bridge is so wide they developed bridge as a platform. And from platform I saw hundreds, not hundreds, thousands of small boats of fishermen were halted over there near the bridge. Then I asked to a local person, why all these boats are, what all these boats are waiting for? They said they are waiting for the high tide. When the high tide will come, all the fishermen, they all wanted to go to their villages. They are, that is interior. Village is somewhere here. So they are living somewhere here. When the high tide will come, the water, sea water will enter into the river, and sea water will go this side, and it will be easy for the fishermen to go easily. When sea water will enter to the river, it will be easy to move them to the interior of the river. So they were waiting. When it is low tide, they take again a boat and they get down over here to the high sea. When it is, they reach on the mouth of the river and they wait for the high tide. When the high tide will come, water will enter in the mouth of the river, and that is, so they could easily migrate, travel through the manual boats to the interior of the river. So this is basically, that is called tidal bore. Tide entered over there. So that's why estuaries makes tidal bore. Tide entered to the river. So estuary and these rivers, peninsular rivers, west flowing river makes the estuary, east flowing rivers make the delta, all make individual. And these all west flowing rivers are making the parallel drainage pattern. But these rivers are making a dendritic tree-like drainage pattern. They make parallel. All rivers are parallel to each other. All rivers are parallel. You can see all rivers here are appearing in the form of parallel arrangement of rivers. And apart from that, another point is origin of the river. Origin of the river is Himalayan rivers are basically older than the Himalayas. Since they are older than Himalayas, so they are known as antecedent rivers. Antecedent rivers. While peninsular rivers, they formed after the formation of landmass. They are imposed on the existing landmass, so they are known as superimposed rivers. They are imposed after the formation of peninsular plateau. So the river drainage system started. But this drainage system, Himalayan rivers, they originated from Tibetan plateau and they entered to Indian landmass. Means Himalaya uplifted later, so river system was older than the Himalayan system. Like Ganga river, it originated from the greater Himalaya, but it passes the lesser Himalaya, it crosses the Shivalik outer Himalaya and make the wide gorge. Means formation of Shivalik and lesser Himalaya have taken place after the Ganga river. When the Ganga river started from the greater Himalaya, by that time Shivalik and inner Himalaya were not existing. So that's why these rivers are, all Himalayan rivers are known as antecedent rivers, while the peninsular rivers are known as superimposed rivers. So and they have plain, large depositional plains. Large depositional plain. And they have, in peninsular plateau, what type of plain? They have erosional plains. Erosional plains. Erosional plains are known as peneplains. And these peneplains have the presence of monadnocks. Monadnocks are visible in Himalayan rivers. And they have small, apart from that, they have small depositional delta, small depositional plain. Small depositional plains. Plains are small in peninsular river and plains are vast in Himalayan rivers. So these are the other characteristics which I wanted to share. The rest of the properties I discussed in my previous class. The length of the flood time in Himalayan river, we have 15 days to 2 month long floods. They have only flash floods. When the rain is taking place, they have in situ flood. They have ex situ flood. Himalayan rivers have the ex situ. Rain is taking place in the Himalayas and flood is experienced by the plains, thousands of kilometers away from the rain area where the rain is there. But in South India, in Peninsular Plateau, wherever the rain is taking place, the same area is experiencing the flood, and flood is flash flood for a day or two, not more than 3 days. So this is these are some of the properties, and these are some of the, this is the network of I constructed of this river. Further, I also wanted to give you some detail of 2-3 important prominent rivers of Peninsular Plateau. Himalayan rivers. May I clean it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like Brahmaputra river. Like see Himalayan rivers. This is Brahmaputra, moves like this, take U-turn, moves like this, enter to Bangladesh, makes the delta, divided into many branches. So distributaries are there because of the lateral movement. So this is a place called Dhubri. Here, this is all Himalayan region. This is Himalayas. So there are the rivers. One river is coming from Purvanchal called Lohit river. One river is getting down from Mikir Hills, that is Kopili river. Kopili is highly acidic river, most acidic river of India. And if you see, this is Dihang. This river in Himachal, Arunachal is known as Dihang. Dihang. Can you wait?